Hello. Oh god. Um, hello. Welcome. Uh, okay. Damn it, Elden Ring. You're supposed to start the epic fanfare. Wait, is it playing or not playing? Wait, what? Wait, hold on a second. It's not playing for me. Okay, there we go. I was like, what the heck? It's gonna be real awkward if Elden Ring feels like not playing any music. Okay. Welcome Kratos, welcome play. Hello. We are playing more Elden Ring. I'm going to be playing less Elden Ring than I played yesterday, probably. When is the 100 sub special? That is on Twitter and also my schedule here. It should be on Saturday at sometime in the afternoon, I put it. Sorry, I put it at a weird time. And that was mostly because I knew I wouldn't be ready for Friday. Frankly, I'm not even really sure if I'm going to be ready for Saturday, but we're certainly trying. It is on Saturday, the 2nd, at 3 p.m. EDT and 12 noon PDT. Yeah, actually, it's really funny. Part of the reason I didn't want to put it on Friday, too, was because I didn't want people to be like, haha, it's the 100 sub special, but April Fools, ha 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 ha. Like, not that I think anybody would, like, I don't know. I don't know. You never know. People like their funny memes on the 1st of April, but it is going to be on the 2nd. I also gave myself the additional day of padding to get ready. So yeah, it's on Saturday. Thank you for asking. So now all the other people who were wondering in this video who clicked on it because it has the stuff. It is, yeah, at that point in time. Okay, so we're just gonna hop into it because, like I said, I do actually have, like, significantly less time today. And that's me actually being serious. I have, like, things scheduled that I, like, need to leave for. Um, yeah. Okay, so we have to go here. I actually don't know how to get here. But it looks like we can get through here, maybe? Or something like that. We'll figure it out. Okay, so, this game managed to torture me for being horny. Why? Ranni hates you because you tried to give her a potion? Rip, man. That's unlucky. Don't feed potions to Ranni. It's rude. Not much. I took a nap before this stream, and frankly, I feel fantastic because I took a nap. Also, though, at the same time... Ooh, parkour? Parkour? Oh, yo, we're parkour. I took a nap and it was great. Just use the same path you used last time to get there? Wait, I don't know how I got there last time, though. I don't think we've been there before, have we? Can someone explain to me how we got here? Because there was this. The Cathedral of the Forsaken, but I don't... Okay. In the interest of, like, actually wanting to make sure I, like, get to the place and not spend 7 hours wandering around, like, literally because we are time-bucked here, it's the place with the golden mist blocking your path. I don't remember. I remember there being a door, and it was like, yo, you gotta get the thing. Was it here? Just straight up, like, on the outside? Yeah, I don't think it's morally very correct to turn people into dolls. I'm gonna go ahead and agree with that statement. Okay. Yeah, feel free to weigh in on instructions, because like I said, I'd rather just, like, get on the right path at the start and then, like, go. Because if you've been there before, I literally just don't remember. It's been a while, I suppose, since we got there. No, it hasn't. If we got there literally yesterday, then I just, like, don't remember where it is. It's a bit of a funny. Because this is in the depths, right? So it's not here. Sorry, I wanna talk, but I know I'm trying to, like, get on the right path here. Where was that door? Maybe we'll start here. And we'll wander around in that direction. Okay, Lancer's back after almost a month off due to the DM being sick. Some things slow, sometime you have stories. Okay. It's that curved path encircling the bit of water. Okay. So is that inside or outside the city? Because there's no water in the city, right? Oh, I can't open the... Can't open the map! Who was trying to fight me? Okay. This is where the dragon is. Oh, so there's a path here. Get that from inside the city. So this is the water, and we want to look for whatever this path is. However we get there. So we're, like, kind of just in the wrong area entirely, then. Because I remember there's a bunch of stuff here. Maybe if we go from the sanctuary and go down? Okay. Yeah. Alright, so we'll meander in that direction. Hopefully we'll be fine. Yeah, goodness. I am tired. You know what's also really funny? Okay. I don't know how much I want to admit this, because, you know... technically being, a piano player, it sounds... really awkward when you tell people how practicing makes you feel. Yeah. So in pursuit of literally doing other things, a la trying to figure out how streaming works, doing art, etc. Things for stream, and then things for my school, which became very busy. I haven't really been practicing, so I started practicing again because I was like, yeah, let's do that. We're prepared, we're ready. Let's get into it. Let's play the instrument that I have practiced for many years in my life. And then my arms just got tired very fast. And I was like, oh no. Sure has been a while, hasn't it? Guess it's just been a hot minute since I've played the keys, hasn't it? So I still remember how to play everything, which is good. I was like reviewing my repertoire and stuff. But like actually pressing things was like harder than normal. And I was like, oh no. Gotta build up ye old stamina again. Not that I feel like I had too much stamina to begin with, as far as playing is concerned. My, when I went to, post-secondary for that, for classical, I actually remember I could only practice for like 30 minutes due to back issues. And that was kind of its own microcosm of difficulties. So I'm I'm kind of starting from there. Not necessarily back issues, but, you know. I'm used to not having too much stamina, and then practicing regardless. Oh, that's a lot of people. Welcome to Dachi, welcome. Okay, this does not appear to be the way. Oh, no. No, no, no. Oh, well, I did. My game always starts out serious. He brought characters from the past and everything, which later develops into a shitpost where we are chasing someone called Red Rum. I mean... I used to Taekwondo. Let's just say I'm not as flexible. You pulled the hamstring? Yeah. Yeah, it's like getting back into something you haven't done for a while is pretty, like... It's pretty dang. Just feels bad to have to admit it, you know what I mean? Because, like... I don't know. It... How do I say it? It, like, makes people lose confidence in you, I guess. Or to some extent. And... I don't... I'm not really sure how else to say it, but it's like, I feel like transparency shouldn't completely eliminate your degree of performance. You know what I mean? Oh, I think it's like over here, right? Yeah, I remember that. Oh, I remember that place. How do I get there again? I guess it's like through here. Okay, I think I remember that place. Yeah, it's like I can get back into the swing of things. I just, you know, you recognize you haven't done it in a while, so you kind of have to like warm up to it again. Okay, so I need to go like this way or something, right? I'm pretty sure it's so we're parkour again. Oh, how did I get there? Oh man, it's over here. I used to do Taekwondo and martial arts, but depression is a hell of a thing, so I haven't done it in like 20 years. Yeah, man. I feel that. Depression is one hell of a... I was gonna say drug, but not really drug. Yeah, I learned recently that the effects potentially could make you, like, what's it? It's like an anti-placebo effect, right? Like, if you really think medicine won't help you, it has, like, an anti-placebo effect. Which is like, damn. Depression kind of hits you hard then, I guess. It sucks. Okay, I remember this place. But does this go to the... Yeah, I think it's over here. That's called a nocebo. Yes! A nocebo effect. Stay positive. Yes. That is also like a... I was suggesting, like, not just in regard to, like, depression itself, but, like, that kind of mentality of, like, nothing works for me, like, could, like, nocebo you to literally not having cold medicine work. Which is pretty brutal if you think about it. Oh, right, I sent the elevator up, didn't I? Wait, is this not the right area? Wait, hold on a second. Is this gonna be, like, hella awkward? Hello, Soul, welcome. There was another door here. There must have been, right? It should be, like, over there, maybe? No, this is correct. Okay, we're fine. So what's you buying? I see. So you want depression. That'll be $10. Yeah, I don't think getting depression for free is fantastic. I think that's less than ideal. Okay, we did it. We are on track. Remember where we were going. Ah. Alright, wait, hold on a second. Right, we got this new spear. Hey, check this out. Whop! God, that's actually so sick. I'm sad that it takes 7 million years to cast it. Yeah, I guess I picked a poor one to go with when I decided to lead on depression. But if we perhaps want to steer away from that conversation, that's also acceptable. It's not a huge problem. But the I think the only thing that I really want to like say in regard to that stuff is it's extremely complicated, and I wasn't suggesting any kind of like simple solution or anything like that, or any kind of minimalization of people's problems. It's just a very interesting observation that like your brain can literally like make things not work for you, which is particularly bad in depression, which is like, damn, that sucks, man. That really is awful. Oh, this was a generalization, guys. I just saw that it seemed to strike a chord with people, so I didn't want to like press. Okay, like, do I seriously have to fight some dude on a horse? Like, do we have to do this right now? Is that your buddy over here with the great bow and you're on a horse? Like, can we... Wow, I do like 2 damage to these people. Okay, we're gonna back this up. Hold on a second. Let's move to a pleasant subject. You know what's actually... Okay, so you know what's really, really funny about this? I don't know how much I want to talk about this. No, I am not implying that I've eaten somebody. Also, haha, Claris has eaten somebody eating these nuts. Haha! These nuts. I'm implying you have eaten somebody in a facetious sexual context. Look at me, I'm Chad, I'm funny. I actually had to write a product pitch for a human burger. And I literally added a note. What? Excuse me? Yo, this guy beating me up? Okay, I added a side note at the very end of it that I, like, communicating sort of to the prof, I guess, that I was like, I never want to write a pitch for a human burger ever again in my entire life. Thank you. Oh, thank you. Sorry, I actually forgot to do the bot. One moment. Save the pat. The pat will be there in a moment. Okay, there we go. Okay, pat is enabled. Nocebo could even make it so that medications worsen your situation if you think it. Thanks, human body. Very cool. that's damn. Yeah. Yeah, human body. Wow, very interesting. Very cool. Very cool body. Big appreciate. What is this? Why is there a downward thing here? It's a downward, right? Oh, we're going down. Hey, we're going down! Eating involves chewing, so I don't think you want to chew that, unless you're Hannibal Lecter. You can have my balls anytime. No thank you. Make the breakers from clone cells of incredibly attractive people. Don't you want to eat them too? That's certainly a way to pitch it. The way I actually went about pitching it was that by virtue of an advertisement existing for it, right? So think about it this way, right? I'm now going to tell you what the pitch is. Not exactly, because I wrote some, like... I wrote very specific rhetoric when I was writing it. But basically the purpose, right, was, like, say you saw an advertisement for, like, that product existing, you'd be like, that product doesn't exist. Like, that's ridiculous, right? That's not a real thing, is it? And then you would, like, comment to your friends, like, this is ridiculous, right? Like, they didn't actually do that, did they? Right? So it, like, by sheer virtue of how ridiculous it is, like, people would talk about it. And then if they talked about it enough, there's, like, a certain percentage of people that would just, like, participate in how ludicrous it is. And that was the thought. So it was, like, basically in the form of a story pitch, which is kind of what the thing was. There was more to it, but anyways. That was kind of the premise. Is that, like, you see, like, a highway, you know, advertisement for it, and you're like, that's absurd. They didn't do that, did they? And it's like, sure it is. They made an advertisement for it and everything. Look at it. Oh my goodness. I hate these things. That was awful. They have this stupid cone attack, and there's like 2 of them. Okay. Make them into fries. I think I want to be vegan tonight. Makes vegans into burgers. Oh my god. To be honest, if you could get ethically sourced human burgers, I would try it at least. Yeah, I think the purpose... So, just to clarify, I think the purpose was to emulate human flavor, but not actually be a human burger. Oh my goodness. Alright, I immediately hate all of these people. Ah, yes, the classical blonde knight gets destroyed by small goblin-looking creatures is still present to this day. I don't know how to feel about that statement. Oh no, how awful that these people are destroying me. Oh no. I'm just a knight with a shield that doesn't seem to be very effective. Oh no. Man. Oh, it would be so awful if people just, you know, hit me with my increased damage amplification talisman and I died. Oh no. Was that like akin to what you were thinking, Deus? Did I do it? Did I act out the scene for you? All right. So anyways, let's actually buff this time. Oh no, I did the other thing. These people are like kind of beefy, so I need to actually buff to fight normal enemies. Hey, there we go. Hit me. Wait, what? Excuse me. Rude. I think the scene I had in mind wasn't appropriate for YouTube. Understandable. I'll keep that in mind. I'll add it to your record. I was gonna ask if I had Goblin Slayer episode 1 on YouTube. I haven't even watched it. I didn't watch Goblin Slayer. I also didn't watch the first episode of Goblin Slayer, but I heard it was pretty yab. Oh, there's 3 of them now! Come on. There's 4 of them! Oh my goodness. Why are there so many of you? Holy moly. I mean, I was gonna say I can take 3 at once, but 4 is actually maybe a lot. Jump. Okay. Jump. There's no... I wasn't in a Goblin Slayer. It was typical shock horror, like redo of a healer. No plot or substance. Wonder how my record is looking now. Also, wonder who has the most Yebe things on it. 3 at once? Yeah, I could take 3 at once. Right? Because when you do a stab, you can, like, hit multiple people at the same time. So I guess what I'm saying is, like, if I presented them my flag, I could take 3 at once. Whoop. Is there... Sorry, I thought there was a Grace here, but I don't think there is. It's just some stuff. Right. I just enjoy Mushoku Tensei. Yeah, I mean, that makes sense, Adachi. I think a lot of people like having, like, noticeable variety. Interestingly, I actually don't, like... I don't super need things to be, like, completely novel to enjoy them. Like, I think it's totally fine to just, like, do cliché, but do cliché really well. Like... I don't know how much this is gonna, like, destroy people. Are you ready for anime takes, ladies and gentlemen? Should I address the... Should I address the chat first? Okay, so something about Goblin Slayer and the shock purpose. So I do actually think what people said about the first episode of Goblin Slayer was that it was, like, nonsensically edgy, so it was kind of like whatever. Yeah, I mean, Adachi, that's totally fair that you did not enjoy Redo of a Healer. I didn't watch it, but I am just saying that some people, you know... Some people find enjoyment out of that, and, you know, I guess that do be them, you know what I mean? Like, it's just kind of like, you got it, man. Okay. But yeah, oh, spicy anime take. I don't even know if this is spicy, you know what I mean? Well, excuse me, what the heck? I did not know you could latch onto my face like that. In my opinion, I think shows like My Hero are kind of like an example of that. So, you know, whatever your opinion of My Hero is, right? I think the concept of it is that it's like relatively generic, right? Just kind of like shonen stuff happens, right? But it's like enough to get people invested, right? Okay, I don't think like Deku's motivations, for example, are anything out of the ordinary, right? It's like, look at this person with a like relatively normal moral compass, and look at these villains that also seem to have a relatively like understandable moral compass, but like you don't really like them. It's like, it just seems like very generic storytelling, right? But that doesn't matter, right? Because people like that. So, like, I don't feel like a show like My Hero is particularly novel, but it is good to some people. I'm not a fan of My Hero, but the only shonen series I enjoy are like JoJo, World Trigger, and Gintama. Yeah. But it's like, it's kind of like, does it matter if it's, like, overrated or not? Like, the reality is that there are people who, like, consume the media and find it, like, important to them. Right? So, like, the relative value of all of the things in order or whatever, you could go, like, well, my hero doesn't deserve whatever. It doesn't deserve the subjective score that it gets from the populace. But it's kind of like, but does that matter? Like, I don't know. I find it interesting that I need to, like, half pay attention in this area because the things seem to kill me. Well, luckily, there's a stake of Marika. Let me read this stuff. Okay. Disagree with that take. My hero got a really interesting world. Characters are simple, but the powers are complex. Like, you have really interesting villains that develop. So, like, I feel like those terms are very, like, vague, and it would be important to, like, specify. Right? I think it would be important to specify. Now, mind you, I think my, I'm unfortunately in a boss fight, so hopefully I can coherently, like, have my brain work here. But, like, for example, let's take a look at, like, Deku. Right? So I think I guess the first thing is, like, I think the concept of, like, pretty basic powers with interesting, like, playability to them is pretty generic as far as shonen goes, in general. So you literally have the same effect in, like, JoJo. Right? Where it's like, you kind of go like, oh, this is a power I've seen before and sort of understand. But then the usability of it is like an outlet of creativity for the author to, like, write something interesting. Right? Man, do I have to catch up with chat? It's like, usually I get an opportunity to, like, share my opinion, and then but, like, it keeps, it's going. There's more typing and stuff. And all of it's paragraph form, so I need to read all of it. Yeah. So there's some point about, like, the progression of the villain being interesting, and stuff like that. Okay. There's only so many times I can read some story with a villainess, a prince that dumps her, and said villainess tries to change the plot of the original story and fails. Okay. With Hero, like, he has his own arc and grows to the role. Right. So I think in any storytelling, like, you get a glimpse of what it's like for the villain. Like, as the story progresses, there will be some focus on the villain and how their growth happens. Right? I should probably summon my cloak. My hero is arguably overrated, but it's by no means bad. You can see why it's popular and enjoy it, even if it's not in my personal top 10. Yeah. So, I don't know. Like, I just don't think the concept of something being overrated is, like, important to me at all. You know what I mean? Like, I think the opinions of another person when I'm experiencing media just don't matter. You know what I mean? Because I could share a very hot take, which maybe I'll get to after this, since we're actually on the topic of anime. Because I have a very hot take that actually is, like, I think actually made my friends mad at me, but, like, it's, I don't know. Okay, so anyways. Superheroes, anime tropes, characters. Like, All Might, in my opinion, is more interesting and complex than Superman. Yeah, sure. Like, comparison-wise, right? But the first thing I wanted to lead on was, like, okay, so Deku is literally just, like, any hero from the hero's journey who gets Excalibur, right? Like, that's just what that is. Right? So it's like, oh no, this person doesn't have the power to change the world. And then they got the power to change the world. And their circumstances were tragic. It's like, yeah. So they went into the magical realm and journey of getting their new power and then experiencing the world with the thing. All stories are kind of simple and can be broken down like that. Yeah, but that's exactly my point. Is that, like, you can break down characters into tropes and things that are, like, transferable between story types. So what I'm suggesting is that, like, the argument that something isn't novel, it's like, it's trying to like, understand what you mean, like, literally what you mean when you say, what is novel? Right? And I'm, like, mildly, not entirely 100%, but in a very simplified sense, like, I'm of the opinion that, like, stories and creative works are rarely, like, very, very novel. Right? But that's okay. Like, people want to hear the same stuff over and over again. Because they're, like, kind of important to us and our moral compass. Right? It's like, because, and the reason I guess I feel passionate about, like, this argument in particular is that, like, people make this comparison with music all the time. Right? So, like, something that often gets harped on in music is that, like, every single song just plays the same chord progression with the same underlying rhythms. Because that's, like, kind of true to an extent, right? But it doesn't matter. It's like, as soon as you over-intellectualize a thing, like, should that ruin it for you? Like, as someone who's particularly analytical, as far as, like, you know, games, music, art, stories goes, it's like, when do you just kind of stop and go, like, it doesn't really matter that these things are similar, right?
You'll turn back.
Turn back.
Ahead lies the land of the giant's flame, and the way forth.
But Flares, doing that allows me to say anything bad concrete? I don't understand what that means. You'll have to elaborate. So I just don't like reading the same thing and expecting something new or shocking. It's like reading a story with Mario, and it's the same thing, but Mario is now named Eddie. Mario still exists, but Eddie is hyped up, and then a month later we get Billy Bob, who's a copy of Eddie. Yeah, I mean, art is a chain of influence, right? So you're gonna get, like, stuff that looks similar to other things, but are, like, a little bit different, right? Like, people have literally called me, like, Saber. Because I'm a blonde knight girl with, like, armor. But, like, does that matter? It's kind of true, but, like, what does that actually matter? You know what I mean? So, that's why I just kind of go, like, you know. I was saying comparisons are always easy way to critique and say something is objectively bad. Like, you know, it's bad when you read a story that's literally has a bare male lead gruffy guy and it's refreshing because it hasn't been done before. Yeah, so, like, perhaps, like, story details in regard to the characters are important to you, right? It's like, there's apparently an isekai of someone who became an anime girl. That's interesting. I hadn't considered the music side, but you're absolutely right. I have a high school friend who's been producing music since that time, and his albums are bounced back from stations with glowing reviews and apologies that it's too different from what they play to put on the radio station. I'm not really sure what to make of that statement, but While I appreciate something being different, if the same story can be told very well, then it's still good, even has similarities to other stories. Yeah. So it's like, I agree, but sometimes stories are told the same way, but, like, not well. Yeah, so that's the thing, is that it's like... What it sounded like is that, like... I can only watch a story if it is novel. So therefore, since stories are not novel, I cannot, like, watch or read them. What I'm suggesting is that, like, the craftsmanship of, like, making a story with characters and whatever, like, will lend itself to, like, similarities. Right? And kind of the degree of... Like, the degree of scrutiny that you're going to give it and, like, look for similarities shouldn't always ruin the story for you. It's like, they're the same. It's like, okay, so what? It's like, well, they're the same and then the storytelling's bad. It's like, okay, so yeah, so the storytelling is bad. But why is the storytelling bad? Well, because they're the same. It's like, well, we just said that, like, it being the same doesn't actually matter that much. Right? I'm suggesting that it's a bit of both. To some degree, creativity requires execution. So when you make a piece of music, when you make a piece of artwork, there's a certain degree of, like, mastery that you showcase when you make that work. And that is important for novelness. We agree there's, like, some standard by which stories or art or whatever should be told. At the same time, we may also seek, like, novel things about the art that we are viewing, which is also okay. But I'm saying it's not simply one or the other. Or you might be, like, ruining it for yourself if you only, like, see it on one axis. Oh god. What ruins the story for me is not that it's the same thing, but how it's presented. It's a female lead who is a bad woman who ends up being isekai in a media. She tries to change her fate. Sure. And, like, it's also fine to look for novel things, too. Like, novel could also mean just, like, you haven't seen it. Where we already said that, like, stories may copy themselves, but maybe you only see the, like, 67th iteration of isekai, and you're like, whoa, that's the coolest thing ever. Right? Plus, you'll be surprised how much stories you like have inspiration to stories you like. For example, Star Wars, it was heavily inspired by Dune. This isn't to take anything from it. Yeah. The male lead is some random guy, like a prince, a beastman prince. Oh man, there's another guy here. What am I supposed to do? Okay, I think this is fine. I don't know where this goes. Maybe I should have gone there. Random guy, beastman, duke. Some high, powerful man who warms up to the female lead. There's some face slapping, that's it. Nothing really makes you go, wow, this is awesome. The next story is the same thing, except the girl has pink hair instead of blonde hair. Right. Yeah. So... Because, you know what's really interesting about this, Adachi, is I think, like... We've literally had this conversation before on stream. Not you and me, but, like... This concept has been explored on stream, at some point in time when we were playing Monster Hunter. But generally what I feel when people say, like, well, this is the same thing, but they changed one thing, and it's like, well, they changed the hair color. It's like... I'm going to admit that there's, like, probably stories out there that do that. And maybe we would consider those stories not very, like, powerful. Right? But sometimes it's important to understand why changing, like, one value of something, like, makes it very, very different. So, for example, like, you have stated one difference in this anime. So the difference in hair color is blonde or pink, right? So that's a pretty, like, minute difference that maybe doesn't matter that much, and I agree. And I also agree that in, like, that scenario and that story, it makes sense to me that, like, it wouldn't matter that much. But what if we change the hair color? It's like, how do we make changing the hair color actually matter? Right? How can we, like, creatively use that to actually matter? Right? So we go like, okay, so the hair is different. And the point of the hair being different is that, like, it literally makes them, like, a foreigner. Right? So, like, people constantly comment on this, like, physical appearance thing. And it's, like, a hurdle that the, like, main lead actually has to get over. So, like, this aspect is actually important to their story or something. Right? I'm not saying that's a perfect solution. But I'm saying that, like, small differences in details can, like, allow for novel stories. I think the example we used from the Monster Hunter stream was, like, I got reincarnated with a smartphone, or, like, I got reincarnated with my mom, or I got reincarnated in general, or, like, I got reincarnated but I'm an anime girl. These are all isekai stories with a main character who gets, like, isekai'd through whatever reason, and then they have to go, like, fight the demon lord or something. Right? But, like, what themes do they explore by, like, the difference of the magical weapon that the character gets? Right? It's like, I got isekai'd as an anime girl. It's like, cool. We are now going to talk about... We are now going to discuss gender. Strap yourself in. Right? Oh my goodness, I do not like this thing. Are you kidding me? Bro, really? I've read several with people having black hair being demons, white hair having dragon powers, red hair being witches. Don't really seek novelty in media much, since sometimes it can be very novel but poorly made, and then no amount of originality will save it. Yeah, so this is what I was saying, is that there's basically two axes that I'm suggesting that, like, good work should be, like, not should be, but can be analyzed on. No lens is perfect for any reason. Right? And, like, this is all I'm trying to say, is that, like, the lens of it has to be new, or, like, it has to be new in my brain is, like, not a perfect lens of analysis. Right? And I'm also saying, like, you're free to search whatever novel thing you want. That's totally fine. But, like, I guess I want to share my experience that, like, you could have a perspective of analysis on creative work on, like, 70 million different axes, and people often stick to, like, one. So, it's like, right, like a pretentious artist, for example, will only judge a piece of artwork based on mastery. And they'll also only judge the artwork based on mastery in their own definition of mastery. Right? So it's like, you know, sure, I guess. You're not technically wrong. Right? Yeah, though I understand that seeing the same idea poorly done can be viewed as much worse than a new idea poorly done. Yeah, exactly. Because the idea I'm suggesting is that there's two axes of analysis, and that, yes, technically, like, there's a lot of people who do the same thing and then it's really poorly done. There could also be something that's done the same that's done well, which in my opinion, again, is like My Hero. Just tired of seeing the same idea poorly done, or nothing new with them at all, and then they're hyped up like it's brand new and unexpected. Sure, so if the problem is that there's an expectation with... Like, if there's an expectation of, like, what it's supposed to be, and then they kind of sell it as something that it's not, I could, like, maybe understand that. right? But I think another thing with more or less telling stories the same, like literally telling stories the same way, is that like, okay, so I'm gonna give you another example, because this more has to do with like the existence of other people that aren't you, like literally. And it's kind of what I was saying when I talked about like maybe you've only seen the 60th iteration of Sword Art, right? So surely we're gonna ignore the marketing team for a second, because you know they have to say it's something interesting. Like there's nothing they can do about that, man. Like, I don't know. You can't just be like, hey, we're giving you the same thing. Because we just agreed there's two axes that people care about, right? But, like, have you actually heard the story of Hercules? Like, have you verbatim, like, opened Hercules and read the story of Hercules? You could say yes here and completely, like, slam dunk on me, but I'm gonna assume you have. Like, I'm gonna assume you haven't, right? So the reality is that, like, as you move along and read more stories, like, less and less things will seem new to you. Yeah, so you know about Greek mythology, sure. But, like, I haven't read Hercules. Like, I literally don't know the parable. Right? So when somebody makes an anime that's just Hercules, but it's an anime, like, it's really interesting to me. Right? Or, there's... Goodness, how do I, like, climb this mountain? Or, right? It's like... We're gonna do, what's that story? Goodness. It's like Lion King was based off of a Shakespearean play, I think, right? Or like, I don't know if it was verbatim, like the same play, or if it had just shared theming, right? But the point is kind of like, some people literally haven't seen the thing yet. Like, even after they've produced it 70 million times, some people just haven't seen it. Right? So the version of isekai that they're gonna fall in love with was the one where they had the smartphone. And then they're like, okay, so now instead of a smartphone, it's like, that story was really interesting to me. I want that story again, but like, give me something a little different. So then they watch the one with the mom in it. People based it on being Kino's journey, but that was debunked. Yeah, no, I think it was like based off of a Shakespearean play, or Lion King was. Lion King. Lion King? Yeah. The personal favorite of quality and execution, I could see what happened 4 volumes out, and I don't care. Yeah. So this is kind of where people go like, oh, the ending was predictable. And it's like, for example, do you know it's a show that I like a fair bit? I actually haven't watched it in a long time because it kind of like destroyed me at the time. But a show that I like a lot, which, spoiler alert, we're going to get into spoilers. If you haven't watched the show, damn, you know. Yeah. So, like, exactly. So that's totally correct, Adachi. And the point is that, like, some of these, like, minor differences will appeal to different people or just be novel to those people in general. Villainous isekai situations, yeah, because previously there weren't villainous isekais. And now there are, and that's great. Right? It's like, they're all isekais, though. Okay, so, anyways. The thing that I was talking about, Plastic Memories was a show that made me very sad. Because from the first episode, you're like, oh, the female lead is gonna die. That sucks. And then, like, you're like, man, I wonder if the female lead is gonna die by episode 12. You know what I mean? It's like, gee, I wonder. It's like, yeah, you know that they're gonna die on episode 12. That's not the point. Like, the point is that every single step towards it, right, with this person who is literally terminally ill, like, you're just sad because you have to let go of this person that is dying. It's not the fact that you know they're going to die. It's like, dog, you're going to die. Does that, like, ruin the entire rest of your life experiences? No. So I also kind of disagree with, like, stories that are too predictable or annoying. Because it's like, you're missing the point, in my opinion. Okay. Never seen a story with Fox-Eye male lead who screws everyone over and it's not a yandere. I was trying to, besides Love is Kill, nobody knows any series with a male lead with that. Okay, well, maybe they should do that then. I don't know. If people like that, then maybe they can make it. It's an original idea? What is? Oh, like the male lead thing? Yeah, and, like, it's interesting because, like, what situation do you put that person in? Right? Like, you know, it's just like a little flavor thing that other people will like. And it's like, this person maybe who has watched isekais or hasn't watched isekais, like that kind of character and want to see that character. Right? Well, now you've thought of it, Adachi. So if someone makes it truly not original, and even disregarding all those elements and exists in a separate story, so is it then just old news? It's not really hard to come up with original ideas. Right. Well, I think the complication here, right, is that, like, what we were suggesting is that, like, one second. I have to think. Oh, I can't think because I'm getting shot at by a golem. Oh no. Man, I love playing Souls-like games and then having to have discussions about, like, the reasonability of creativity. God, it's so cool. Man, awesome. I love it. Yeah, nobody made that from what I gathered. Yeah, so, okay. So here's the thing, right? So this is, like, the key, right? Is that, like, it's just slightly different enough that you can, like, consider why it would exist. Right? And that, like, this is literally a question of... Okay, sorry. So, very, very important. If I can share some of my experience, this is literally a question you have to answer when you are, like making ideas. Like, no cap. Actually, zero cap. You literally have to answer the question, like, what is the purpose of your thing existing? Right? Like, that is a design question. And that like, you better bet that's a design question you have to answer correctly. You know what I mean? So it's like, we're making Fortnite 2. Right? It's like, no, we're going to make Fortnite 2, but we're going to make it less about building and more about some other aspect that I don't know about. I don't know. Right? So, yeah, it's like, well, I want to make this kind of story, but I want to make the male lead like this. And it's going to be slightly different. And it's like, all you did was change a physical characteristic. It's like, yeah, but how does that, like, change how that character actually exists and acts and stuff, and how they respond to situations, right? The isekai with a smartphone? Yeah, I don't know what they were doing with I want to know what happened in that board meeting. And like I said, it's like, I don't really, you know, outside of all the seriousness, right? Like, I don't really mind that other people are entertained by, like, an isekai with a smartphone. Like, I don't... It's pretty simplistic in nature, but, like, I don't really care. Like, you entertain you. On the other side, Star Wars is entirely built of parts of tropes that I enjoy a lot, but Star Wars at best is fine, usually boring and I don't know why. Yeah. So there's the isekai with the smartphone. Is Digimon an isekai? I'm not here to answer these questions. Like, there's no, like, specific, right? There's no, like, specific thing to answer here. It's like, it's just like a lens of analysis, right? So instead of being like, oh, this is the same, right? Like, basically the question that you're, like, facilitating in your head, right, is like, why is this the same as something I've already seen? Right? And I find, like, when you do that, you'll come up with, like, a selective answer that answers why they are the same. And then, like, you don't get a creative output because you just kept doing the same thing. Right? So as someone who literally needs to answer the question of, like, or not fall into the trap of answering the question, like, why is this the same? It's like, sometimes it is useful to consider why things are different. I always figured it's the same because it makes quick and easy money. This is true. And again, like I was saying before, I'm not discounting the fact that, like, people absolutely, like, completely recycle stories that are bad. Like, I totally get it. Right? That happens. And it's like, man, another one of these, like, damn it. I wanted something new. Like, I get that feeling, but I also want to, like, defend people who, like, felt really passionate about isekai with a smartphone. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't know. Maybe people just really wanted a story about the dude with the smartphone, you know what I mean? Like, they just... Like, the guy who wrote it's like, yeah, man, they got a smartphone, let's go. And the people who watch it were like, yeah, they got a smartphone, let's go. Right? So I feel like it's, like, disingenuous for me to, like, review those as, like, oh, it's the same garbage. I'm cynical. Man. Angry. It's like, there's definitely a lot of similarities, and certainly to a degree how much you actually find those differences useful is, like, up to your personal preference, subjective, and, like, it doesn't matter. Right. So, certainly you could select stories that are within a certain thing, but it's like, when do you get to the point where, like, every story sucks and you, like, don't want to watch anything anymore? Right? It's like I can only get off to, like, 34 of stuff that's, like, has, like, 70 tags attached to it. It's like, okay, man. I'll let you know that I've been browsing some of the same tags for the last, like, 20 years of my life, so, you know. Maybe I shouldn't have said that, but... Yeah, before the smartphone isekai, there was not a show that specifically set an isekai high fantasy world with a smartphone, to my knowledge. Exactly. And then maybe somebody wanted to, like, right? They wanted to give, like, a protagonist with the same magical weapon. So the novel part of the idea was, like, the magical weapon is a smartphone. The magical weapon we gave to the hero on the hero's journey was a smartphone. Right? But then maybe they, like, write the personality a little differently. I think Poi said high fantasy, not high school. There were isekais with smartphones, but not high fantasy. Interesting. Yeah. So, like, TLDR, this discussion is just, like, appreciate the small differences in life. I also respect the thought that, like, you want something that's really, really new, but maybe there's, like, other axes of enjoyment that, like, could afford to not ruin it for you. Which is, again, like, not something you have to do, but there's, like, multiple lenses by which you can view media. And originality is one of them. Mastery is another one of them. Production is another one of them, I guess. And yeah. Is there not going to be another grace for this, like, entire thing? Because that's going to make me very sad. I kind of was hoping there would be a grace eventually, so that I don't have to do the entire run again. Yeah, I don't actually know what the definition of high fantasy is. I just, like, okay, it sounds like it's different, so it's different. Yeah, so Digimon and Shin Megami are apparently not high fantasy. Yeah, I was like, what's Dig I'm on? Could you imagine sending that to somebody? Dig I'm on. Who's Dig? Do you mean Doug? Yo, Doug, I'm on. I'm on this one story. So yeah. Oh, thank God, we got a grace. Holy moly. Devil's Survivor is like a Survivor game set in another world and Earth at the same time, so I don't know if you consider that high fantasy. I don't want to spoil it, but the anime is nothing like the game. Understandable. Yeah, so it sounds like high fantasy has like a very specific thing, which, again, I think is like... It might be important to define, but I also feel like the point is pretty, like, apparent outside of the fact. Also, are, like, my shaders broken or something? What is this? What is up with these textures? Like, what the... What is this? I don't... Whatever, it's fine. High fantasy is more mystical and not based on reality. That's usually how they tell the difference. Game of Thrones, for instance, is not high fantasy. Okay. So something that's like... Yeah. Okay. Sure. I think I get that. Even if you don't argue from that point, the world itself has technically unique elements from other isekai, even if only slightly so. Yeah. I don't have a problem with the smartphone isekai. I'm mostly tired of reading the same villainous series. Right, so it sounds like maybe you're interested in, like, having a villainous series, but that's, like, slightly different. So maybe they need to do a villainous series with a smartphone in it. I don't know. Yeah. Right. So, again, like, I want to clarify, because usually I get pretty heated when I maybe talk about these kinds of things. Right? But... like, we're not discrediting the fact that, like, media can be boring, because it absolutely can, right? But it's like, when do we draw the line on, like, we're discrediting the ingenuity of someone's storytelling, right? Maybe that doesn't even matter to people, you know what I mean? But I just feel like people simplify things too much, and it's like, bro, it's more complicated than that. And, like, I don't know. This is more anecdotal in nature, and me being smug. But, like, I'm gonna go ahead and say, like, people tend to call me creative. Which is pretty egotistical for me to say. But, like, I don't know, man. I just feel like I do things. I go like, man, you know, it'd be really cool if they did the villainous show, but, like, they put a smartphone in it. And actually, we need to think of, like, 70 million more design decisions because we baked our premise around this person having a smartphone. Like, right? Just makes it very different, and then you have to start thinking about things. It's like, wow, that was so creative. It's like, I don't know, I just kind of, like, wrote a villainous series with a smartphone, man. I don't know what to tell you. So, yeah. I also feel like it comes from a place of, like, I was more in the camp of, like, originality is dead. It's like, I don't think originality is dead. It's just complicated. Another typical fantasy romance is actually what I'm looking for. Oh, interesting. It might be because I read stories that are 1,000 plus chapters and ML doesn't show up until 900 and there's little introduction. My point is that for at least a few hundred years, no story has had any elements that cannot be found in other stories made earlier, but that doesn't make the stories less unique. Yeah, so one of the key takeaways is that like small differences change like how you have to write the story and how things interact. Sometimes those things are more or less novel than other things, and that also depends on the person who's reading the story. So someone who's already watched isekai 70 million times might have a higher bar for what they want, or would consider novel. So someone who watches a lot of villainous animes, like, really needs that one villainous show that has the smartphone in it. Right? Also important to acknowledge that, like, sometimes stories are just pretty garbage. So it's like, okay, well, you literally did the same thing, but on what axis did they do the same thing? Did they do the same thing as in, like, they inherited the worst character traits that are super boring and nobody likes them anymore? Or, like, did they inherit traits that kind of make sense? Because, like, a lot of these stories need to talk about interpersonal relationships, and you're like, why does the main character need to go through the arc where they, like, figure out that the person likes them? It's like, because that's the point of the story. Like, we kind of have to inherit that, and we're gonna write about it because we want to. Like, I'm sorry, the guy's just kind of dense for a little while. Right? And then sometimes they're different. Sometimes they're entirely different. Sometimes they're a little the same. But like, pure intellectualization of things, I feel like it's more sad when that ruins it. It's like, yeah, I don't know. I feel like my life was a lot less interesting when I viewed things more cynically. Cynically. Okay. Like I said, my problem is that 50 stories are the same thing, and I'm trying to find at least one that isn't like the 50 previous ones. Yeah. So they're looking for something new. And then we kind of added some definitions for what new actually means. Which, I don't know. It's maybe useful or not useful. Maybe it doesn't even matter. One story I'm reading is really bad. Like, the guy treats her for 20 or 30 chapters horribly. Puts her down in front of others. Acts like her peach allergy is nothing when he served her peaches. I mean, the reason for that writing a character that is a jerk is hard and does limit freedom. So you have to make them likable or more something, or yeah, okay. Or more hateable, yeah. So I think the problem of a story being bad for 20 chapters is more along the lines of like it's probably more along the lines of like mastery being bad. You know what I mean? Like, I can't imagine a person who like literally acts like that believably. Maybe. Right? Like, without any other context, that's kind of like sus. Most of the time they make them unlikable and unredeemable, or do something weak like the female lead changed their crappy personality or gave them some bad backstory. Yeah. So, okay. This is a good observation. What's sad is that this isn't the only time that they act like this. Yeah, okay, so here's the thing, right? Is that, like, this story could be viewed as, like, the mastery in which the story is being told is, like, not good, right? Does that make sense? Like, something about this person's storytelling is that they are, like, telling the story poorly. because we don't really feel empathy for this character, right? Or like it is hard to, because it's clearly just like if their allergy was terrible for them, like I don't know. Is there a boss here? I feel like there's supposed to be a boss here. I'm looking for it. But yeah, so that's kind of like a trope, by the way. So it's like, okay, we're gonna have a male lead who has 4 personality traits. And then they're going to grow their character through interactions with the female lead. It's like, congratulations. You did it. Oh, that killed me immediately. That wasn't even, like, sort of. That was just, like, very bad. If Griffith became a better person and tried to make up for his mistakes, then yes, even Griffith. Yeah. So it's like, you could try to make it better. And, like, again, for, like, your degree of forgiveness of people is also, like, to your own, right? So, sure. But, yeah. So, people with bad personality traits becoming better people through character growth in, like, whatever setting you want. So, yeah. Depending on how well that's written, that could be better or worse. Yeah, no, this is hard to read. While right at certain point, people will need a believable reason to root for a character. Yeah, let's say a character did something, like, pretty bad. You have to work pretty hard to make them forgivable. Yeah. Right? So, here's the thing. It's like, we're talking about, you know, like, well, they did this super terrible thing. It's like, are they really forgivable? It's like, that's up to the writing of the story, right? You know what I mean? It's like, well, do we want to write a good story or not a good story? Like, we don't have to actually, like, be on board with whatever the story is, right? It's just like, you gotta write it good. We need to write good. Just do good. Easy. I would argue that story would be pretty hard to tell. But yes. Oh, that killed me. That did not kill me. It didn't kill me. Let's go. Please revive my horse. Please revive my horse. Oh my goodness, revive my horse, please. Thank you. Okay, we did it. My problem is that a lot of the things that these male leads get hand-waved. Like, there's no redemption arc, it's usually ignored, it just has a bad bastard. Or, like, the power of love. Yeah, I mean, you know. There is something called the suspension of disbelief, which is probably important to discuss in this scenario. So it's like, the reason why some things feel like they get hand-waved is probably because they do get hand-waved. But for, like, the greater purpose of the plot, people don't actually care. Right? So if you're looking for a story with very, like, deep interpersonal growth, then, like, maybe it's harder to find that in a villainous story. Because the reason why people are watching the villainous story is for the reasons why they watch a villainous story. So, like, maybe the mastery and execution in telling the story is worse, but, like, because people are a fan of the genre, they just, like, read it. Just from a moral standpoint, I believe any character is forgivable. If they are changed or... Oh, I died. They change a truly good person, though regardless, I'll root for an evil character if the story is good. Yeah, I mean, like, people have different levels of forgiveness. Like, I'm not gonna... You know... Right, like, I guess, like, part of the entire thing of this is that, like, people interpret media differently. Right? So it's kind of like... If that's the way you see it, that's fine. Right? And, like, that may give you access to more stories to be able to watch or whatever or read. Right? Thank you, Soul. Man, I like how we're having this, like, big discussion about... I say big discussion. I don't think it's a big discussion. It's not, like, whatever. At the end of the day, it's like, okay, like, you like this story or don't like this story? Cool, man. Go ahead. You got it. The only reason why I'm more, like, on the side of, like, don't let yourself ruin your experience of media is that, like, I feel like that is what cynical people do. And it's sad. To me, as someone who used to be more or less cynical. Because it's like, I don't know. Like, it could be bad for, like, all objective purposes. Like, totally. And then it's like, cool, I know it's bad, whatever. I'm gonna just watch it. I don't care. Right? Like, at the end of the day, like, you're the person making the decision. I'm not saying you have to force yourself to watch it either. I'm just saying that there's a choice. Like, at the end of the day, you are, like, responsible for your reaction to media. It is in your control, not anybody else's. Okay, so I can understand that if the male lead had something like a big bat sealed inside of him, but one male lead was just trashy, he blamed everything on the female lead, and she did nothing but save him. Yeah. So it's like, the degree of suspension of disbelief for, like, this amount of bad story writing is, like, not high enough to enjoy the story, which is totally understandable. Like, we got it. Oh, they're already dead? Wait, how did I... Wait, what? Where did I get the... What? I got the seppuku art. Great. Okay. Okay. Vegeta had an entire arc, and at one point he went bad again, had a family, etc. And some male leads have none of them. But it lets you feel smart to dunk on people. It's like, yeah, man. Tell me more about your fragile sense of ego, telling people that the thing they like is bad. I'm sorry, that might have been like a low blow, but... I just... Sometimes I don't like the concept of, like, ruining things for others by, like, trashing on it, I guess. Because I used to do this a lot for card games. Like, I was very, My friends are a little more into, like... They're into trying a lot of different, like, new card games, and, like, I'm less about that, because I like trying new card games. It's just, like, I also like being good at card games, and sometimes it's harder to be good at new card games, and whatever, that's fine. But... I used to kind of have this, like, you sort of have a complex on it, right? It's like, you know, I can point out things that are objectively bad about the card games that they play, and it's kind of like, okay, cool, but, like, does that matter? Like, are we gonna have, like, are we gonna have fun playing this card game, or are we not gonna have fun playing this card game? And then I'm just gonna go like, man, No, we're not going to have fun, because I think this game is objectively bad. And it's like, it could be objectively bad, but why does that matter? It's like, play the game and enjoy it. Or don't. Up to you. But, like, I chose more often than not to enjoy it, and I felt like my life was worse. My favorite manga of all time, the MC is straight up bad. Or from the beginning, that's okay. And the behavior is an excuse, so maybe not applicable here. I don't think I trashed on anything, though. Alright, so the way I viewed your statement was that, like, anything that's already done is considered to be bad. So if the statement follows that everything that is not novel is bad because I don't like it, like, it doesn't demonstrate your understanding of, like, why that thing might be good. Right? Like, yeah. That's, like, kind of the way that I view it. Which I'll concede that the typed media is not as good at communicating, like, smaller things like that. So, sure. I also just missed this. You need some anti-freezing armor for ice enemies. I think I'm good. I'll probably be fine. Yeah, so... Hello, JV, welcome. How's it going? Oh, I never finished my point, because I wanted to say, so Soul is out here just, like, cheering me on, going, like, oh, I hope you can beat him, you can do it, while I'm, like, 90% distracted. And it's, like, the sweetest thing ever. I just wanted to say thank you for cheering me on. It makes me feel like I can do it. Like, I greatly appreciate your encouragement, Soul. Thank you for that too. Yeah, so Adachi, I kind of got that towards the middle, and, like, you kind of confirming that makes a lot of sense to me, right? Is that, so... It's like my personal thing, right? So I'm speaking from your perspective. It's like my personal thing is that I want something new, because these are the story elements that I see are the same, and that bothers me. And then, like, I basically took that point and made it more generalized, right? Because it's like, okay, so I respect that you have this idea that you want to find something new, and, like, that has its own degree of merit, right? But then we can kind of explore, like, what does new actually mean, and, like, what are the purposes of actually enjoying media? Right? And then that has, like, its own questions. Okay. We're going to equip this, because I think this might help. I hope. Yeah. So the question, because it's like something... Because it's something that strikes a chord with me, because it's something that I feel like I've experienced, is like, how much am I self-sabotaging my enjoyment of media? Because I literally know that I have done this as far as card games are concerned. Oh my goodness, yo, I lived with a pixel of HP, let's go! I think the Pearl Drake Talisman did it for me. To feel smarter than everybody and tell everyone else they have bad taste. I mean, like, sure. I mean, it's hard to say that that's not entertaining, you know what I mean? Like, people love that stuff. Like, people like having opinions. And, like, as much as I'm kind of, like... As much as I'm trying to share my own experiences of, like, self-sabotaging my enjoyment of media, which I think is very easy to do, especially for someone who's analytical in nature, which is literally me. Like, at one point in time, I had to actually think about, like, what even is the concept of something being novel? right? So I was kind of like sharing my thoughts. Oh, this person's killing me. Stop it. Stop it! Stop! Oh, I died. Okay, so I actually didn't notice this. When they do that, I should run away. Because they have like a big blast radius effect that I didn't notice. I literally didn't notice that until just now. So we're gonna, yeah. I'm gonna compare like this. It's like, you love fried rice. You eat fried rice every single day. And the only change is that you get some soy sauce, oyster sauce, or sweet and sour to put on it. Yes. And what I'm suggesting is that sometimes that's okay. It's maybe not okay all the time, but sometimes it's okay. And sometimes you want to put Peking duck, you can't find Peking duck, only fried rice. And you're like, damn, I really want this fried rice to be better. I totally get it. The unfortunate thing is that sometimes you're not going to be able to find the fried rice, or the Peking duck. So, what do you do in the scenario where you can't find Peking duck? Like, literally, what are you going to do? Like, are you going to complain about not having Peking duck, or are you going to put some damn oyster sauce on your fried rice? Right? And that's what I'm saying. You know that the fried rice could be better if you got some Peking duck. You know what I mean? Like, you get it. Oh, this person's spin. Okay. Okay. So. Fortnite guy, I am inclined to believe you are a bot. However, I'm a generally forgiving person. I'm going to ask you very kindly to stop spamming, and if you don't, then you will be banned. That is all. Yes. Okay. There's spam. One moment. Whoop. Hide user. And also report for spam. Okay. Yeah, there we go. I mean, it was a good metaphor, right? That's why I was like, it's really funny too, because like metaphors and similes are very common for getting people on the same page. But yeah, it's like, right? So you go on a quest to find Peking duck, and it takes years, but sometimes you find it. Yes. So the question is, what do you do in the meanwhile? Right? It's totally fine to go on your quest to find Peking duck. But at the same time, it's like, are you just never going to eat fried rice ever again? Because sometimes you get the same one. Yeah. You find it one time and you're like, man, this fried rice isn't good enough anymore. Because I found this thing that's a lot better. Oh, damn it. So I can survive one of the attacks by having this talisman equipped. But I feel like maybe I'm supposed to concentrate on this. You have no choice in this situation because fried rice is the only thing in the market. That was my other account. I'm not a bot. Okay. I just like to troll sometimes, but I'll stop. Please do. Like I said, I have given you a warning. If you spam again, you will also be removed. Like, this is not a joke. It is a boundary. It's also in the rules in my description. So, just relax, my dude. Do you think I'm ever going to be able to beat this guy? I wonder if I should give myself more vigor before trying again. I don't know. Alright. we're chill, man. It's all good. So yeah. What was I saying? I was saying something. Sorry, my brain's a little discombobulated. I got discombobulated. Is this PS4 or PC? This is PC. Peking duck and rice. Yes. So, like I said, it's totally okay to like search for a thing that's better, and even once you've like found that thing, you feel like, oh, I want that thing again. But what I found for me personally is that like I try to entertain the thought of mediocrity. Like, I understand that not everything is going to be the pecking rice dish. And I just, like, accept that. Which is a personal, like, lens of looking at it. And I was also suggesting that there are other lenses you can look at. Right? Like, again, this metaphor is completely based on ingredients composition. Right? But, like, what other aspects of fried rice would make it taste different? Right? Where did it get made? What chef made it? Even if it's, like, the exact same dish with the same ingredients, I would feel better about a rice that's made by Adachi than I would by some, like, random dude on the street. I'm not getting any younger, and I really want that Peking duck. Well, here's what I'm gonna say, is that I pray for your success in your endeavor. But sometimes you get what you get. Damn it. Damn it! No! Okay. I should probably give myself more HP. You wouldn't like my burnt rice. Yeah. So what I'm suggesting is that, like, it's a matter of perspective within yourself that can change your enjoyment of your media. And, like, appreciating the small differences. Helped me, personally. I don't actually know if I can... Should I not be using this? I don't know. Yeah, in some cases it's burnt right. Yeah, totally. And you're like, man, that show was terrible. I'm gonna try summoning this guy. AKA, you dropped the series. Absolutely. Okay, let's try focusing a little bit, I think. I'm kind of wondering if I can, like, beat this one. Serves the burnt rice with sorry written on it. Okay. Okay, so this is their big roar. They're gonna do the AoE after, right? Right? Okay. My solution is just to stop watching so much. I mean, that's a fair solution. That is, if that's what you feel like is appropriate. Totally fine. I would also like to mention that, like, technically my amount of anime I watch, like, nowadays isn't too much. Oh, why did that hit me? That shouldn't have hit me, man. Okay. Let's back it up. Yeah, most I watch 1 to 2 shows per season. Really? Okay, I'm gonna try and I'm gonna see if I can not use the thing. This one. Let's try this. It's heavy load still. Does it matter if I'm heavy load if I'm on a horse? Doesn't look like it. Now, sometimes I skip entire seasons. Yeah, like, for the record, the last show I watched was, like 6 months ago, I think? And it was Jujutsu Kaisen. Was that 6 months ago? It was a while ago. I thought it was okay. It had characters in it. Ow. Well, I didn't die. Alright, we have a show recommendation. Man, did people even want to hear my spicy hot take on this other show? I feel like it's inappropriate at this point in the discussion because it's kind of like, I don't know. They're talked about a lot of things, and then it's like, do I want to like open another can of worms 15 minutes before I should be ending? It's like, bro, come on. I don't know. I'll think about it. Or I'll leave you all in the dark. You won't be able to know ever. No! Okay, so what I do think happened there, though, was that I took less damage. I think taking less damage is good. You're bad? Wait, what do you mean? No, Rance. I was just, like, there was a thing that I wanted to say at the very start of this discussion, and then I wasn't sure if I wanted to... like, open another can of worms or not. I still don't know how I feel about it. Keep thinking that's Rent-A-Girlfriend. Oh. Yeah, but my opinion's going to be up to the scrutiny of the audience, and then I don't know how I feel about that. Let me see if I can focus enough to beat this guy. I actually think I want to change one more thing. Peer pressure is always good to submit to, so you should do it. Yeah, I don't know if that's necessarily true, but... What's happening with my control stick? You know what I could also do, is if I equip super heavy armor, I think... Oh, whoops. If I equip super heavy armor, I could not... die potentially. Okay. Okay, are you gonna do something? You gonna do some big breath attack, my dude? That's what I thought. I've seen your next move. No! He saw my next move. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna run away from whatever this is. No! I got stuck on his tail! No! I'm actually so tilted. Maybe use the lightning bolt spear. That's a good idea. Let's try doing that. Wait, can I use it on the back of the horse? Because I don't think I can. How's my roll? Okay, it seems to be fine. Alright, I like your thinking. Let's try it. I disagree with whatever the opinion is. You can't change my mind on this. I agree with the opinion, whatever it is. Boy, we gotta fight. Yeah, I don't know how much of a hot take it is. I didn't really enjoy Fooly Cooly when I watched it. Because it... Yeah. I don't know. Just did not jive with me very much. I felt like when I was watching it, it had, like, it reminded me a lot of my past, but in a sense that, like, I didn't seek outward confirmation from other people. Oh no, I don't have enough decks. Oh, I super don't have enough decks to use this. Wait, hold on a second. Okay, I have to change this. Hot take, I only watched Fooly Cooly for the Vespa. Yeah, so I felt like there was a lot of theming of, like, finding, like, self-worth in, like, not knowing how to approach your life by seeing it in other people. And I also felt like just, I don't know. Didn't feel good. Okay, let's actually try getting lightning spears down or whatever. Yeah, I felt like when I was younger I was required a lot of the time to figure out my life for myself. Yeah, see you later, Kraus. Have a good one. Thanks for sticking around. But yeah, that's it. And the interesting thing to me is that, like, you know, for other people who find that story useful or meaningful to them, it's kind of like, yeah, dude. The point of me saying that is that, like, my interpretation of, like, media, like, shouldn't matter to you. Like, if that story or Fooly Cooly is, like, extremely important to one of my friends. Like, they found, like, actual, like, deep life meaning out of that story, and it was, like, very important for their growth as a person. Right? So what I'm suggesting is that, like, I'm not going to discount the fact that, like, it could be very useful to them. Or, like, it's important for me to recognize that, like, this story is important to another person. But it just wasn't useful to me. I didn't like it. That is all. That was bad. You know what I should do? I should charge it up. Like that. Yeah, so people feel like they discern different meanings out of the show when they watch it at different points in their life. For me, I felt like I understood most of what was going on, and I didn't really relate to any of it. It's not that someone who is into harms and isekai gave it a bad rating compared to other series. Yeah, I don't know what to make of this. I would really like to beat this boss. I think that would be pertinent. I like the idea of using the lightning bolt, and I want to continue using it. But needing to go into, like, the mist to get the boss to spawn every time is kind of like, bruh. Do I have to do this every single time? Did that not hit? Wait. You're telling me that it doesn't have infinite range? I should give myself more cerulean tears. So that I can actually beat this. Oh, you're saying, okay, so this show has like certain themings that don't relate to everybody. So like some people don't like it because it didn't like resonate with them. Right? Yeah. Oh, come on. Now, yeah. That would definitely be another case of, again, it's like, this media could still be very influential and, like, important to people, but just not important to everyone. Right? Yeah. So it's like, not every single show needs to be a deep commentary on, like, you know, societal norms. Right. I need a 20-hour breakdown about the meaning of life. I don't think it would be a good idea to get that from you. I think that is something you should come to your own conclusion about. Yeah, so, Adachi, it's important to understand that, like, the person who's reviewing the show, like, has their own agenda of why they're reviewing it. Right? Yeah, so it's like, why does this person's opinion matter? Right? Like I saw some pretty hot takes about, like, I saw some pretty hot takes about Beast Doll recently, which I haven't even watched, but I know that it's, like, important to one of my friends. Oh my god. I feel like I'm supposed to fight this thing on horseback. So, I feel like I should be fighting on a horse. I liked this idea of using the lightning spear, but it doesn't seem to be good. I respect their opinion, but they were an influential person, so it's like people felt that their opinion matters 100% to trash it. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how much I want to, like, comment on this, because it's, like, hard to explain. Maybe. It's kind of like, look, man, like, it's just one person's opinion. Doesn't matter if they're influential or not influential or whatever. It's like, it's an opinion. Which is what Poi pointed out, which is like, it's an opinion. Like, congratulations. Like, even if they had, like, an objective analysis of, like, what, like, how, like, shots were composed and, like, stuff like that, it's like, it's, yeah, you got it. You have picked a lens of analysis and then said something. Congratulations. I think I even had a rant one time about how, like, oh, this is not gonna work. This is way too slow. Maybe I should upgrade a bow to fight this guy. So the meaning of life is poking people with my flagpole? I mean, you know, influential is extremely debatable. Yeah, it's like, I don't know. You have to, like, put stock into their opinion to have it matter, I think. The reality is that, like, people put stock into other people's opinion because they like agree with it, which is fine. You just have to like understand that that's a thing. Okay. So now that we're fighting on horseback again, I need to like take the thing off, the damage increasey thing. Depends on the person. If a person says buy this and they're influential, people are going to buy the thing over a random person saying buy this. Yeah. Like, you could say that that is the literal definition of being influential. But what I'm saying is that if I watch someone who is, like, in quotes, influential, and they tell me to buy something, it's like, do I actually buy the thing or do I not buy the thing? Maybe what you don't realize is that you can literally just choose to not buy the thing. Like zero requirement. Do this. And this will be this. It's like, why the heck does my opinion matter? Like, you know? Why does anything I said in the last, like, 2 hours matter at all? Most people don't think like you do, that's why you're cool. I really appreciate that. But, like, that's the point, Adachi, is that, like, it's fine. Like, you can take things with a grain of salt, you can take things without a grain of salt. It's fine. Right? But I also think generally that having some amount of understanding of what the person is saying is useful. So, for example, in this person's case, like, they seem to make a lot of hyperboles about the thing that they were watching. You know? And some people might say, well, that's disrespectful to the media because actually it, like, means a whole lot of other things. It's like, okay, sure. You got it. I understand. That's okay. Right? But, you know, so there's this opinion, and then their opinion is this because, like, they don't specifically relate to whatever the commentary that's happening in the show. The media does not resonate with them, so to speak. Right? So, what we understand is that the media doesn't resonate with them. So, what else is that supposed to mean? Is that like an attack on my person because the media doesn't resonate with them? Like, no. It has nothing to do with you. It's their opinion. And we can understand that, like, you know, maybe they're not a Japanese citizen, so they don't understand the thing as well, and, like, they're not as interested in it. I know that Adachi has watched 7 million villainous animes and is not interested in watching, like, a generic villainous anime. I get that. So, you know, I'm not gonna assume that they're gonna like... I don't know. You know what's really funny about this? So, I personally haven't watched a lot of villainous animes. So, I watched, what was that one that got an anime? It was a while ago. The point is I watched a villainous anime for the first time, and I was like, yo, this slaps. Put me in. I love this. But I imagine, like, that show maybe doesn't resonate with someone with different circumstances. And that's fine. So when I listen to their review of it, and they're like, I have personal circumstances that make this different to me, then it's like, okay, great. Cool. Awesome. I'm glad I understand that about you. I'm gonna go watch it now. Like... Wait! I have the stuff equipped, though. Is it because I unequipped the Pearl Drake talisman? I hadn't heard of that type of show until today. Villainous animes? Or shows, mangas, whatever? Usually other opinions don't matter to me on a personal level, but influence opinions of others is scary. Yeah, for sure. I also think it's important to, like, you know, understand that it's fine to have opinions affect you. I'm just saying, like, it's your decision at the end of the day. It was pretty close, Soul. I saw it. I was looking at the health bar. It was very close. I think it was so close that I'm willing to pop a rune arc this time. I believe. I believe in myself this time. I believe that I will succeed. Yeah. So, to my understanding, villainous animes are not frequently animated. Xiejia is the... I hope I pronounced that correctly, because I would imagine I did not. Is the Chinese version of it, which is more popular. Okay. Got it. I have added it to my repertoire of temporary knowledge that maybe sinks in or doesn't sink in. Yeah, villainous anime is kind of like... Yeah, sort of, it's like isekai, sort of, reincarnation, sort of, but usually with, like, villainess, right? Like, with a female lead who's kind of the bad guy, but, like, you root for them. Is my understanding of the genre, as a not very well-versed person in the genre. Oh, the other thing, too, sorry, this was in sort of relation to the Beast Doll stuff. But, sometimes opinions aren't very well, like, not very well elaborated on, which is usually when I go, like, that's clickbait, and kind of cringe. So I'm gonna not even pay attention to that. Not enough information. Disregarded. Oh no! Okay, I like the anti-trend where it's about villainous male leads, since I like self-inserts, especially for power fantasies. I mean, you know, I have a dangerous feeling he's referring to redo of a healer, but I don't want to say anything. Because I think that opinion, you know, as much as I'm try to be accepting of opinions, that's one of those things that you might attach, like, you just posted cringe to. You know what I mean? Wait. Yeah, it's basically a female lead who is the bad girl, ends up with a male lead who is either a kudere, sudere, yandere, and has some high-standing birth, and then they change the plot of the world. Got him. I hate that breath attack, because I literally can't do anything about it after I'm caught in it. Yeah, no, I totally understand that. Bad things happen to people in that show. And that is, like, you know. That, yeah. It's not the greatest for some people, I think. It's totally reasonable. Then don't get caught in it, just dodge 5-head. You're right, Poi, I'm gonna just dodge this time. I think that means I'm supposed to focus. Sometimes they have bad guys. Okay. Should have just dodged it, Fivehead. Oh my goodness, I should have just dodged that. Yes. Yes. Rants, if those are the tags you're looking at, I mean, like, good for you, buddy. You got it. I generally don't associate people's interpretations of media with them as a person. I tend to not make leaps in logic like that. But I recognize that other people do, so I wouldn't go out of the way to do that. Yeah, I'm aware, point, that I have to go, but I want this dragon to die. This dragon will perish. That is all I'm going to say. I no longer have healing flasks. Do not know what to feel about that. Nice. No! I missed the second follow-up attack. Ugh. I was hoping you'd beat them more quickly so I could point out that you missed an NPC and erase a few things away. We're trying our best. Got the tail sweep. That's gonna hit me for some reason. This is really bad. Alright, dragon, come over here, please. Nope, you're just gonna do your big breathy attack? Great. Awesome. Please come here. Please come. Please. I'm begging you. Please just come. For the love of God. Okay. Supposed to be further away from them, apparently. Hey, we got a sub! Welcome, whoever just subbed, or subbed a while ago, to House Lyria. I know this isn't your name, but welcome, welcome. Whoever it was that subscribed, welcome to House Lyria. I'm gonna spend all my rune arcs here. I swear. Alright, we're heavy. Some people pay money to get stepped on like that. Yeah, hello, welcome, welcome. I would believe that. I would believe some people do. And that's, you know, good for that person. I got baited by the cute girl avatar, and now I want to watch the dragon die. Aha. See, the design works! It works! It works, everybody. My planned intention of action. We bait them with cuteness and then show them that we're actually just a nerd. And then they stick around, hopefully. I think they're talking about a guy who paid $800 for that. You see, I believe that. Put on all your heavy armor so that you're basically guaranteed to die if you fall off your horse. Yeah, but I just don't fall off my horse. It's that easy. Alright. I hope it's not a bait, by the way. I am the one and only Flaris, honorable flag bearer of House Lyria. There's nobody but myself. I rigged the model myself, by the way. Oh. This is my own art. If I chose a form to give myself, this is in fact the form. Hey, wait. Wait. Let me smash. Me smash. Smash. No! Oh! Damn it. Okay, what you got for me? Those are not my preferred pronouns, Reigns. Stop that. Why can't my chat be normal? Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh! Hey, let's go! We did it! We did it! Let's go! Alright. Sick. Cool. We finally... All I had to do was become very, very thick. Makes sense. Alright. Is going to see this, Is going to see this NPC going to, like, take a while? Or, if it's not gonna take that long, I'll go talk to them. Go back into the hole? What hole? He's right by one of the graces. Okay. Let me do double check. Let me actually first use these runes. Dex. Okay. Is he here? We're here. We're here. Is it the finger reader? Here. Here. Is it Zamor runes? Alright. Let's talk to your boy. Don't know what to cook? Might make French toast again with meat. Sounds good. Oh, it's your boy! Yo, it's this guy. Hello again.
Tarnished. The would-be lord. Oh my. Why
My face isn't long. Your face is long.
Previously acquainted with this vessel. Well, that is most unfortunate.
Oh.
For he is dead. As for his flesh, he gave it to me. Shabriri. You were about to sacrifice something precious, the life of a fair maiden, that you would toss into the fiery forge, only so that you may be lord. What a horrible thing to ponder. Your ascendancy requires her sacrifice, whether she wishes it or not. But how would the lord, crowned so?
I don't know how I feel about this. You're telling me I have to sacrifice the maiden?
Chosen, tarnished, and would-be lord. Spare the poor girl. If you are prepared to show resolve and attain lordship through righteous heart, and heed the words of I. Chosen, descend into Sigurd.
Oh, wait.
With the
Three fingers and the flame of frenzy.
If you inherit the flame of frenzy, your
Service
flesh
kindling.
and the girl, setting you on the righteous the path of the Lord. Burn the Erd tree to the and incinerate all that divides and distinguishes. Ah, may chaos take the world. May chaos take the world.
This guy seems pretty passionate.
Chosen, descend into the depths of Sigordium.
Okay. Yeah, he seems very trustworthy, you know? Also, if you have the Howl of Shabriri, you should check the description. I think I have it. Battering Shriek. This incantation also causes mana buildup in the caster. It is said that the sickness of the Flame of Frenzy began with the most reviled man in all history. Does that mean I should kill this person? He's a chaos bro. I mean, like, you know, he's doing whatever. Are you prepared to sacrifice the maiden? It's like, maybe, I don't know. Let me chill with Ranni. I would rather just like have a nice peaceful slice of life anime with Ranni the Witch and just, you know, have a good time. That's all I want from this game. Alright, it's 7:22. I have to take off. So, we're going to keep this short. I'm going to say, if you are here for gameplay and you would like to take off, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for hanging out with me and our, you know, discussions about anime and creativity and storytelling and stuff. Yeah. So I honestly feel a lot of the time I'm pretty heavy-handed with that stuff, so, like, I don't know. I feel like if I'm being a disturber of poop, that it's important to tell me, because if it wasn't implied before, damn, my ego can be pretty big sometimes. Okay, but we're gonna go update the map. So I have a question for anyone who's still here. Does anybody want a token who doesn't have a token? Because I think everyone here has a token. Oh, sorry, I have to quit the game first. If you don't know what a token is, then it's working. That's the point. But I can make a small caricature of you that is approximately 32 by 32 pixels. If you do not wish that, that is okay. Man, we made significantly less progress today because we got caught up on fighting a dragon. That's funny. Okay. So here is our lovely little tavern filled with myself and all of my supporters. Wait, Adachi, have I made a token for you? I swear I did. Oh, I haven't. Would you like a 32 by 32 token or drawing of you? Because I feel like I haven't made one for you. JV showed up today. I was gonna say we got a bot, but we actually didn't get a bot. Let's see, 7 call. Not sure. Okay, what would you like me to put on it? Tell me, what goes on this tiny square to represent yourself? Okay. If you say nothing, then I'm going to do a scuffed drawing of what you currently have. Up to you. That's not good. Alright, here's what we're gonna do. We've got a blonde-looking pretty guy. Red panda? Could try drawing. What does a red panda look like? Red panda. Okay, I think I can draw this. Okay, so it's kind of like this color. Okay. Yeah, they're sort of this color. And they have some highlights of like white and stuff on them. Oh, they actually have like fuzziness that kind of goes out this way. Like this sort of. And there's their ear. And we can fill most of it with this. And then there's some white that goes kind of around here and here. And then into where the mouth area is. And then sort of on the fluff on the side. And it's got a nose. It's got some little eyeballs. It's got a mouth. Okay. It's from Soul Hackers 2. Now it's from Chainsaw Man. Okay. Here we go. There's our token. You are now a. Maybe I want to do a little bit of like. You are now a red panda. Congratulations. There we go. Okay, so... Oh, we still have to stamp the stream. Sorry. Oh, God, I'm tired. Okay. Let's recall the flag. Oh, hold on a second. So, where's my stamp? God, we are all over the place today. Make sure we stamp the stream. Dang, what are all the animals doing in this bar? I don't know. There's a lot of animals, dude. Okay, so oh, this is. Why is it high up there? What is this? There we go. Okay, so it's going to be a few more days until I see all of you. We're going to go through an entire Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And then on Saturday, I'm doing my 100 sub special, where I'm going to attempt to play piano after a very long time of not playing piano. And then I have something planned after that, which, again, man, I always go like, yeah, I'm kind of excited for this thing. And then it's going to be awkward and concerning and not great. But please look forward to that. That's happening on Saturday at weird time slot. A little bit of a different time slot. And hope you're all looking forward to that. So I'll say thank you so much for watching, everybody. Thank you for hanging out with me. All the discussion, etc. I love playing extremely difficult Souls-like games while being super distracted. That was sarcasm in case you couldn't tell. So, yeah, see you later, everyone. Have a good one. Stay safe. And, bye-bye. Bye, everyone. Goodbye. Bye-bye.